Hello, good morning. It is the 24th of March, and I am still reading After We Fell by Anna Todd, and I have finally reached the 100-page mark. So what I'm going to do is go into Goodread and update a reading journal. And oh my god, the first 100 pages of this book are seriously effed up. Yeah, I don't really want to swear if I can avoid it. Why are these people still together? Jesus, I mean, this is a clear book that is not for young people to be reading. It is not positive. It is not something for young people. It's not about young love. This is about alcoholism and abuse and child abuse and neglect and bad parenting, traps that people should hopefully not fall into. This is a book about how not to be a parent, how not to be in a relationship. It is clear now that Tessa is nothing but an enabler for two alcoholics in her life, her father and her boyfriend, Hardin. In the end of After We Collided, Tessa and Hardin went to a tattoo parlour. Hardin got a tattoo to basically tell her how much she meant to him and how they should never be apart and be together forever. And they end up bumping into her father. She's still not speaking to her mother after she found out her dad was back on the scene. And now, for 2 days, her dad has been living in her apartment with Hardin. And all they have done in that 2-day period is sleep, eat, or get completely hammered. I mean, Hardin says to Tessa, I'll take your dad home, knowing full well that he's practically homeless, has nowhere to live. Ends up taking him to this bar where he has something like 8 whiskies. Gets into a fight, and Tessa has to bail them both out again, being this really forgiving and understanding person. No, you are an enabler. You're an enabler for an alcoholic. And, and I can't see how this is going to end well for any of them. And I've actually found out that Tessa's dad is only 33 years old. He had her when she was 19. Maybe my maths is a bit rubbish. She is only 19 now, so she is the age that her father was when she was born. Hardin is 20. He shouldn't even be drinking. He shouldn't even be being served. And all the way through the book, it's been nothing but manipulation and sex. And it kind of reminds me of Outlander, in a way, where Claire, the main character, she's married to her husband before she goes through time to be with Jamie. And she even says that their relationship is one that's based on sex. If they want to feel close to each other, they use sex as a way to sort of diffuse situations and make both of them feel happy, even if it's only for a short period of time. And then in many ways, the same thing happens with her and Jamie. They'll have a fight and then they'll kiss and make up. And this is basically all that Hardin and Tess have done for the last 6 months. They'll stop talking to each other for a couple of hours. I think the longest was 2 weeks. And then next thing you know, they're at it again like rabbits. And it's like, oh, it's amazing, it's the best thing in the world, I can't believe I left you. No, you left because the relationship is not a relationship. You're nothing but friends with benefits. You're not even friends with benefits. All you should really do with this person is, when you feel like you want to get laid, is phone them up. You shouldn't be living with them. You certainly shouldn't be letting them control you. And I don't like the attitude and the sort of the fact that this is supposed to be like a teen romance, and how it's such a it's not a positive book for young people and young women. I mean, I've seen the first movie After. A lot of the book was cut out. I don't know about the other movies. I've not seen them. And when I first watched the film, I found it to be very kind of sweet, a little bit romantic. Yeah, there was like really nice moments in there. Teen romance. I've seen quite a few teen romance movies. I never went through the teen romance phase. I never had a relationship until I was in my late 20s. That was my first relationship with anybody. And even then it wasn't really a relationship, because by then it was expected that I should know who I am and what I want, and men in their late 20s don't really date. They're either at that age where they still want to be the bachelor, go out, get partied, get laid, or they're looking for a more stable relationship to settle down and have a family. So again, for me, that wasn't I wasn't in the right league to be in a relationship, because I hadn't gone through the whole teen romance phase. But again, even in the first movie, the fact that he admits that he was only going out with her for a bet, and yet we're on book 3, and there's still a lot of resentment there from Tessa because of what happened to her and because of what Howden did. There is no trust in this relationship. I mean, he even told her he'd been expelled from college and then lied about it, just in the hope to get her to change her mind to move to London and not go to Seattle.